Have you ever sat at a dinner table and realized nothing around you was what it seemed? I did. At my own wedding anniversary dinner. And by the time dessert arrived, I did not recognize a single person sitting with me. Marcus and I decided to celebrate our 15th anniversary the same way we celebrated our first. A home cooked dinner. Just family. No restaurants, no formality. Just the people we loved most sitting around our table. I spent the entire day cooking. Slow roasted lamb, saffron rice, warm bread straight from the oven. The whole house smelled exactly the way it did 15 years ago on our very first anniversary dinner. By 7 o'clock, everyone was there. Marcus sitting at the head of the table looking exactly the way he always looks. Calm, steady, mine. My mother-in-law, Patricia, sitting across from my mother. The two women who had never quite managed to be comfortable in the same room together for 15 years, both smiling carefully, both pretending. My brother Samir, who drove 4 hours to be there, loud and warm and filling every silence the way he always does. And my best friend Dana, who had been at every single important moment of my life since we were 17 years old. I looked around that table and felt completely full. This was everything. These were my people. Then Marcus stood up and cleared his throat. I assumed he was about to make a toast. Instead, he looked directly at my mother and said quietly, "I think it is time." My mother put her fork down slowly. The table went completely silent. I looked at Marcus, then at my mother, then back at Marcus. "Time for what?" I said. Marcus reached into his jacket pocket and placed a small envelope on the table in front of me. I did not touch it. "What is this?" I said. "Open it." My mother said. Her voice was strange, soft in a way it almost never is. I picked up the envelope. My name was written on the front in handwriting I did not recognize. Inside was a single photograph. A woman I had never seen before. Standing in a kitchen, laughing at something off camera. Young, maybe 25. Dark hair. Something about her eyes familiar in a way I could not immediately place. I turned it over. On the back in the same unfamiliar handwriting were 4 words. She never stopped looking. I looked up at Marcus. "Who is this?" I said. It was not Marcus who answered. It was Patricia, my mother-in-law, who sat very straight in her chair and folded her hands on the table in front of her and said, "That is your biological mother, Sarah. She has been looking for you since the day she had to give you up." The room tilted. I heard my mother make a small sound beside me. I turned to look at her and saw something on her face I had never seen in 41 years of knowing her. She was terrified. "You knew?" I said. "We all knew," she said. "Marcus found her 8 months ago. He came to me first. We have been trying to find the right moment together. 8 months. My husband had been carrying this for 8 months. Coming home every evening, sitting across from me at this same table, sleeping beside me every night, carrying something this enormous without a single crack showing." I looked at him. He was watching me carefully, the way he always watches me when something matters. "I did not want to hurt you," he said. "I wanted to make sure she was real first, that she was good, that she deserved to know you." "And?" I said. He reached across the table and put his hand over mine. "She has a kitchen garden," he said quietly. "She makes bread every Sunday morning. She hums when she cooks. She takes her coffee the exact same way you do. And the first thing she asked me when I found her was not about herself." "What did she ask?" I said. Marcus looked at me with the steadiest eyes I have ever seen. "She asked if you were happy." The table was completely silent. My mother reached over and took my other hand. The woman who had raised me, who had sat with me through every hard thing, who had driven 4 hours to school plays and stayed up through every fever, and never once made me feel like anything other than completely and entirely hers. She was crying quietly, not hiding it. "I was never afraid of losing you," she said. "I was afraid you would spend your whole life wondering. And I did not want that for you anymore." I looked around that table. My brother Samir, who had gone completely quiet for the first time in his entire life. Dana, who had both hands pressed over her mouth. Patricia, who was watching me with an expression so gentle it did not look like her usual face at all. And Marcus, who had spent 8 months building a bridge between my past and my present because he loved me enough to do the hardest thing quietly and get it exactly right. I looked down at the photograph again. The woman in the kitchen, laughing, young, those familiar eyes. I had cooked all day. The whole house still smelled like saffron and warm bread and slow roasted lamb. And somewhere across the city, a woman who had never stopped looking was waiting to find out if I wanted to be found. I picked up my fork, took one slow breath. Then I looked at Marcus and said, "Caller." He was already reaching for his phone. Some tables hold more than food. They hold everything you are and everything you came from and everyone who chose you anyway. That night, mine held all of it at once. And there was more than enough room.